Hey everybody, I want to take a second to talk to you about the Mana Traders series. Mana Traders is now sponsoring the channel, RW Hobbies, or RW Makes Magic, helping me get all the decks I need to make the videos that everybody wants to watch, so really appreciate that. But another big thing that's awesome about this is I get to play in the Mana Traders series, which is an awesome series. Best prizes online at the moment. 15,000 monthly payout. That's to all their players. Free entry. It's open to all, even non-Mana Traders users, but the Mana Traders users, like people subscribed, get 10x prize multiplier, so you get a lot more prizes if you're subscribed. And honestly, it's really hard to play Magic Online nowadays without Mana Traders. I was one of the lucky few who could keep doing it because I had a large collection from before they started, but there's not very many people like me left that just have an old collection on Magic Online, and honestly, even with that old collection, it was still really hard for me to change decks and keep trying out new things. And now that I have, now that I have Mana Traders back, I feel like I'm gonna be able to do a lot more videos, do a lot more with the thing. And honestly, I don't think you can get into Magic Online without using it nowadays. I think it's just a must-use. And if you want to get subscribed to Mana Traders, you can help out the channel by using code A22EN when you subscribe. You get 15% off, be eligible to play in all these series. Even get to battle against me on there. So, should be a lot of fun. And remember, I'm going to let you get to the content now, but remember, if you would subscribe, it would really help the channel. So, thanks everybody for that. And with that, we'll talk to you next time. Welcome to another episode of Making Magic Happen, brought to you by RW Hobbies and Games in Livonia, Michigan. I'm Zach, and today we're playing some Standard again. This Standard format has actually been pretty awesome. I'm not going to lie. I was playing a lot of Rogues. Rogues was great. I enjoyed playing Rogues. Fun deck. Rest of the format's been pretty fun. A lot of churn to it, actually. It's a weird feeling for me. I haven't found myself just like thinking about Standard, wanting to play Standard in a while. And I've been thinking about Standard and wanting to play this one. So I'm here. I'm ready to play some Standard. We're going to see how this goes. I think the top of the format after the MPL split pretty much settled into like red, black, Gruul, mono red, and Rogues, and that's really the only like tier 1 decks people are talking about. And the Yorion decks are kind of getting made fun of, kind of being called unplayable at this point. And maybe they are. It's possible. But I don't believe it. I think maybe the problem is that the deck was just too hated on. There was just too many good ways to beat it, and people were tuning their decks to beat it. But as the deck falls off, and people start looking in other directions, and they start kind of cutting the cards that beat this deck starts to get a little better. So I'm kind of on this theory right now that this deck is due for a comeback. I think it's really good against mono red and Gruul and some of the aggressive decks, and Rogues can be tough, but I think it's solvable. So we also another thing in this deck's favor is it's got a metagame, like it knows the metagame. So now I can play a control deck and kind of attack the format in the way I want to attack it. And how are we doing that? Well, you have Skyclave Apparition, you have Shatter the Sky, you have Glass Casket. Those are the removal spells. They're the best ones in the white color. It's a lot of exile-based stuff, which is really nice. It really hits the creatures out of Gruul, out of mono red, out of mono green, red black. It's really good against all of those decks. And against Rogues, I'm main decking some Glimpse of Freedoms. And I also have 4 Thirst for Meanings, which let me pitch the Glass Caskets, pitch the Skyclave Apparitions, pitch the ECDs against Rogues where they're not good, and even the Shadow of the Skies to some extent, and help me get to the blue cards that I'm looking for. Now, the other thing that's really nice about Thirst for Meaning is it puts 2 cards in the graveyard, sometimes 3, and that's really good for Glimpse of Freedom, which is an escape draw spell. I am not sure if I should have 3 Thirst and 3 Glimpse, or 4 and 2. I'm starting with 4 and 2, and I have a 3rd Glimpse in the sideboard for when I do play against Rogues. There's a chance it should be 3 and 3. I could buy that. It is a little tough to fuel this at times, but it's not as bad as you think. So I don't know. We're going to keep an eye on these numbers, but I think it's an interesting place to go. All the Yorion decks I've seen have Yorion in the main. I do not. This deck is not actually a very good Yorion deck. I do have Omen of the Sea, and that's good. And I do have Elspeth Conquers Death, and that's good to blink. And I guess I can blink Skycliff Apparition and Glass Casket, but I don't really have that much to blink. It's really just those couple cards. And for that reason, I think it's pretty safe to put Yorion into just the command or the companion zone, which I think is fine. Like, it's still a really powerful card. It's still a really nice thing to get access to. I'm just not all in on it. And instead, I have some Dream Trawlers main because I think some of the decks that are really good in this format just can't beat this card ever. They're just going to have a really hard time against it. I think that's just the reality of the situation. And I've got Shark Typhoon as an added win con. That also kind of works with Thirst for Meaning. If I'm not going to have enough mana to cycle this, I can pitch it and make Thirst for Meaning a instant speed divination, which is pretty strong. A bunch of the blue and white lands you'd expect in the sideboard. I'm not playing the Tranquil Cove. I'd like the basics, actually. The basics were great. Just my duels are Failed Passage, Raugrin Triome, and Temple of Enlightenment, and then untap blue and white sources, because you just want untap lands in a deck like this. It's kind of clunky. You can't have tap lands coming into play on turn 4 and screwing you up. In the sideboard, I have additional Wraths. I'm playing 2 Realm Cloak Giants. Kind of a pet card of mine. It's seen almost no play, but I think with how aggressive the format is right now, it's kind of good. And against those decks, it's particularly good because it's also just a 7/7 beater that I can just put in play and just brick walls them. I've got 3 Archon of Sun's Grace. Mono Red is gonna hate this this deck. Let's be honest with ourselves. We got Dream Trawler, we got Birth of Meletus, we got Exile Base Removal for their cheap stuff, we got ECD for their Ember Cleaves, Shatter the Sky when they flood the board, and then 5 life-linking threats. It's gonna get a little much. I mean, that's just the case. Against Rogues too, we have Miscast to go with 4 Mystical Dispute and 3 Negate. Miscast, I think it's a card people forget is in this format, but it has really, really impressed me against Rogues. In fact, I think it's very good against them, and I'm pretty excited to try it. I do have a Mystic Subdual. I've seen people playing this. I tried it in some of the practice games I did. It was alright. It wasn't great. It was fine. Thought it was fine. I'm going to keep trying it. I think Realm Cloak Giant might be a better way to approach the matchups where I want a Mystic Subdual, but we'll find out. I mean, that's what testing's for, right? It does trigger Archon, which is kind of nice, I guess. Maybe I should have a second. I don't know. We're going to keep testing. We're going to find out what's good. Another ECD for matchups where they have expensive stuff, I guess. I don't know. Let's battle. So my white cards probably aren't going to be very good. But the other cards are good. I have lands, and I think Castle Ardenvale is particularly good, so I'm going to keep. Ooh, this looks like a Doom Foretold deck. The Skycliff Apparition might be good. I think a Doom Foretold's not too bad. I do like Omen. I do like the Omen of the Sea. It's going to help me find the other blue cards that are good. Abzan? Okay, so this is Abzan Yorion. I should actually be favored in this matchup, I think. We're going to do some testing and find out. But I feel like I should be favored in this. Especially game 1. I guess they can get off to a fast start with cards like these, but I think overall I should be favored. Get a nice little Omen in there. Yup. Ooh. I don't hate Birth. But also I don't think it's that good. I do actually think Mystical Dispute's pretty good right here. So I'll take it. Question is, do I want to hit this Trail of Crumbs before they get to crack the food? I think that's interesting, but I'm not that into it. I'd rather Mystical Dispute whenever they play this turn and then start cycling Shark Typhoons and get a clock on. I don't think it's super likely they just jam straight into my counterspell, but it looks like they might. It's going to run out a Wicked Wolf. That would make sense. No, a Golden Egg. No, I don't actually like that. I want to get rid of that. It's just going to get them extra value with their Yorion. I want to stay away from that. A Charming Prince? Oh, no. Oh my. So now I could hit the Trail of Crumbs. Still thinking it's not that good. Just going to keep passing. Representing counterspells I don't have. But I'm going to start cycling Shark Typhoons here at some point. Alright, that's fine. Not great for me, but it is fine. So I would definitely trade this for a Charming Prince. Well, nice to hit a land there. Still not going to attack. I actually think there's a pretty reasonable chance I just cast the Seagate Restoration. It's like a draw a lot right now, for being fair. Okay, Skyclave ain't bad. I do think I'm supposed to cast Shatter the Sky here, sadly. Don't want to, like, giving them a card stinks, but it makes this Yorion significantly worse, so I think it is worth doing. Now, if they want to blink their Yorion, they can get another food, which is fine. I mean, it'll certainly be good for them, but not the end of the world. We get to draw 5 cards next turn with Seagate Restoration, which is pretty good. Yeah, it's 5, right? I draw up to 5, or I draw up to 5, cast it down to 4. I think it's 5. I don't know. I'm pretty sure it's 5. I play this as a land, then draw. Yeah, I don't know. Elspeth's Nightmare. Oh no. They're going to duress me. Alright, let's draw a whole lot of cards here. 9 cards in hand and no maximum hand size. That ain't bad. That is really not bad. Exiling in my graveyard would be kind of annoying, for being honest. But having a land, this was really good. Having a land draw that many cards was kind of nice. My land just drew 5 cards. That ain't bad. And I didn't have to pass. That was nice. That is something I can get behind. Now I get to watch my opponent tank on the duress for a year and a half because there's so many options. They actually have 6 legitimate options. That's tough. Tough place to be. Do they have to take my Ameria's Call? Who knows? They took the Shark Typhoon. I mean, that's fair. It's not clear you can beat that card. Ooh, I don't like this. I do not like this. So we're going to have to break this up. It stinks that they have a second Charming Prince. That was kind of why I tried to break up this loop before, was that it was going to be very annoying if they actually fully pulled it off. Well, time... What is this? I mean, I guess I am playing this, but... Ooh, Thirst for Meaning is actually good here, too. Definitely time to get rid of this Prince. Do not like this card. And... I think I'm probably supposed to kill the Trail of Crumbs or the Elspeth's Nightmare before they start getting a ton of value. Definitely one of these needs to go. Question is which one? It's gotta be the Nightmare, I think. I just don't want to let him get a free duress here. I'd rather have this Essence Scatter available. And they can get another food, but I mean, it's gonna take them a lot of like mana to start cracking and using this, and all that's doing is like letting them get closer to where I am. I mean, they are going to kill my Skyclave here. They'll Glass Casket it, but again, not really the end of the world. In fact, I can Skyclave the Glass Casket next turn and then get my Skyclave back and exile their... Oh, alright. Well, that's better for them, I guess. You get a 3/3 now? Okay. Okay. The golden egg, huh? Alright, that's fine. So you have anything in their graveyard? I guess they get back like Solemn. Yeah, that's fine. I think these are both fine. So now the question is going to be... Am I supposed to, like, get and play my Yorion? I only get to leave up 1 mana. I think this is a better play next turn. Honestly, I think I'm supposed to just cast this. Although, maybe let's start with a Thirst for Meaning. Find my own ECD or a way to answer this would be spectacular. Alright, we whiffed. That's not good. I will discard that, though. And probably the land, honestly. I think I'm supposed to pass with Neutralize available, sadly. This would have worked out much better for me if I had used my mana. That said, I don't think the game is over. I think we are certainly in a spot where we can come back. This card is going to be annoying, but it is not the end of the world by any means. I don't think that one matters. They already have one. I don't think the second one's doing all that much, if we're being honest. I think it's time to Thirst again. I think I can safely get rid of Mystical Dispute at this point. The Glass Casket is probably, like, okay. I need to find an ECD. That's what I need. I'm going to want my land. I think it's just a Neutralize. Ooh, you'll love Birth being 18 mana. That's nice. How likely is opponent to be able to kill Amarius Call tokens? Pretty likely, huh? Yorion. Yorion at least lets me Essence Scatter next turn, which could, like, protect me from, like, a Wicked Wolf. Probably worth it. I guess they get back Charming Prince. That's, like, really bad. Alright. If they get back Charming Prince, at least they're not attacking me. I think this play is good just based on the fact that Essence Scatter protects me from Wicked Wolf. Which I think it's pretty likely that they will find. They have a ton of looks at it. Well, that's not a Wicked Wolf. That's good for me. I am dead to that. Unless I find... I don't have a negate in my deck. I am actually dead to them hitting ECD there. It's really annoying. I guess Amelia's Call was better from that standpoint. I still think this matchup should be good. I think my draws were a touch awkward there, but it's alright. Not the end of the world. I think ECD is very good in this. I do want the extra one there. I don't think Shatter's great. I think having a couple is fine. I'd much rather have some Archons, actually. And I don't think Mystical Dispute is great. I think it's fine. I think Negate is better. I think that's fine. Question is, do I want like any of this? Like a Glimpse of Freedom's probably okay. Miscast is not good. Realm Cloaked I don't think is very good. I guess Realm Cloaked is like not horrible. They don't really have giants. Not that interested in it. I could see it over some Glass Caskets, but I think Glass Caskets can be alright. I don't think Glass Casket's good by any means, but I think it'll be fine. You'll love to see it. Right when you talk about it not being all that good, you get to draw 2 of them in your opening hand. Good news is Thirst actually kind of cleans all this up, so it's not really the end of the world here. Alright. See if we can't hit a land here. Nope, don't really want another Skyclave. I got enough cheap removal. I don't need more. I do think that's better than playing Birth. Honestly, I'd like to discard Birth to Thirst here. If I have a choice. Alright. I mean, I guess I'll play this. Not like it really matters all that much. Alright, goodbye Birth. This is getting all of the value. We got all of it. Another golden egg. Opponent has very many eggs. Egged up. Ooh, they missed their land. That's bad for them. These are both spectacular. I'll take both of those. What are we doing on cards in the graveyard? Not great. Do I want to put Yorion in my hand? Not really. I would then have to discard the hand size. That sounds bad. I guess knowing that they have Skyclave Shade, I'm kind of happy I left in these caskets. Let the beatdowns commence. All right. This hand's been pretty awkward, if we're being honest. Can't complain. Opponent's hand's been even more awkward than mine, but just drawing all of the spot removal. I actually think I am going to play a Skyclave Shade and just hit this Trail of Crumbs before opponent can use it to like get rid of their mana or get out of their mana issues. I will say I don't love this, though. I think it's right. Question is, should I hit a food? Probably not. I think I want to just cast a Glimpse of Freedom here. Just get it in the yard. We're getting close to a flashback on it. Ooh, they found the land. Are they going to cast the Shade? So much value. So much value. Oh, that's really nice. Let's do that. 4/4s attack. Let the beatdowns commence. All right. We managed to defeat a horribly mana screwed opponent. Go us. Do I want anything after seeing how that played out? I think I'm good. I'm just going to submit. Alright, I don't think this hand is great, necessarily, but I also think it's not bad. Essence Scatter is pretty good. I've got a Scry, I've got all my colors, I've got 5 lands, I've got a wall to block the 3/1. Could do without more lands, but ooh, Shark Typhoon's good. I'll take a Typhoon. Oh no! You can have a Plains. I am not going to play the Birth here. I could play it, but like stopping a 1/2 is just not that important, honestly. And I can just leave up Essence Scatter for any of their plays now. And then cast this next turn. Like, I just am not doing anything that important that I need to like rush to get this out. And I'd much rather counter that. Sounds much better. They've got a Temple of Milady. Now the question is, do I put Yorion in my hand? I think I do. Kind of like it, actually. Kind of going to rush out this Yorion here, actually. It's actually nice. I have told people in the past, when you're playing this deck, your Temple of Miladies should be Sultai Triomes because they cast Yorion. Now, of course, they had the next one, so it's fine for them, but I stand by it. It should be the other one. I am not very interested in them blinking Yorion this turn, so I'm going to get their Llanowar Visionary and start brickwalling their Acquisitions Expert. Let's do it like that. They might build a Yorion, but, you know, it's really not the end of the world if it's just discard a Shark Typhoon. That's fine by me. That one is more scary. It's a lot of cards. Well, this is one of those spots where having counterspells would be fantastic. We haven't drawn any of those in 2 games, but if we had them, they'd be very good. Oh boy. Well, that ain't it. Question is, do I want to play anything or bluff counterspells? Yorion here is like very, very bad for me. They draw a lot of cards. I do think I'm supposed to attack. I think that's clear. Start bashing. I need to start punishing this treacherous blessing by getting aggro. It's my plan. Which, not necessarily great against food, but, you know, here we are. They're going to have one of my Typhoons. I don't need it. What I need is to find a counterspell. That was fine too. A counterspell for Yorion, I think, just like wins me the game. I have like 10 of them I could draw or something. We'll get there eventually. Okay, ECD's not terrible. Question is, what am I doing with it? Do I cast it now? So if they played Yorion next turn, I would have to discard 2 cards, but I'm fine discarding these 2. Because I can win. I was supposed to play this pre-combat and hit Solemn, I think, actually, now that I'm looking at this. I think I screwed that up. Do I want to change anything? Yeah, I think I'm just going to play ECD and hit the Solemn. I think it looks weird, but I think it's right. And I am going to play the Island. I think there's an argument to be made for playing this tapped, so that if I draw another one. But the thing is if they don't play Yorion and they do something else this turn, then... and I draw a White Source, I can like cast this and put a lot of pressure on the opponent. Okay, so they did cast Yorion. It's not great for me. Ooh, they are not blinking the Treacherous Blessing? That's interesting. I don't know why you wouldn't blink it. It just draws cards. I think they should have blinked this one. Oh well. Wait, what? Yeah, I have to submit one. It lets me submit as many as I want. That's interesting. Just on time. Just perfectly on time. And I don't have any creatures, so my ECDs aren't going to be great. But getting rid of their Yorion's pretty good. I do think that they're going to maybe put this in their hand and cast it this turn, but that's like mostly okay for me. They're going to start to get to a spot where it's hard to cast spells, although the food does mostly make up for it. Interesting they didn't crack a food there. They have their own ECD. Okay. Alright. Ooh, I don't like Gilded Goose. That's bad for me. I was gonna say, getting a hit in here was going to be very good, actually. Are they double blocking or single blocking? Okay, double blocking is actually good for me. I'll take it. It gives me a target for my ECD that I otherwise would not have had, so I think I'm fine with it. So if they cast Yorion, I win the game, which is excellent. This was not a good play from the opponent. Just have to counter this, untap, hit this with the Skyclave coming back, and they died to my 3/3. And we found lethal! Yay! That is actually a scenario of snatching victory from the jaws of defeat, because I don't think I was supposed to win that game. I'm gonna be honest. I don't really think I was supposed to be in that game at all. But here we are. Found a way, as it were. Good old 7-mana divination. Yup. Found the line. So I was saying it was a weird block, but opponent did make it. Alright. Don't know what we're playing against, but this hand looks great. I've got, 3 lands, double of each color. I've got a sweeper. I've got a good spot removal spell. I've got a bunch of card draw. The only thing we're missing is counterspells, but the only matchup you really want counterspells against are rogues and the mirror, and these cards are both great in those matchups, so I think this hand is great. I think Thirst for Meaning is really underplayed in this format. I've been very impressed by this card. I even have a temple to try and help me hit that 4th land, and that plays. I'll take that. That is a land. Thieves Guild Enforcer. So seems like rogues. Does seem like rogues. And I milled my land, which I don't like. But it is what it is. It's been milled. We'll get a plains. So they didn't reveal Luris, which makes it pretty likely that they have Shark Typhoon in their deck. And that's not great for me. But Glimpse of Freedom is actually, this is why we main deck this card in this format, because against decks like this, it just destroys them. Yeah, sweet wall. Yes. So kind of hoping an opponent plays a Lord this turn and gets shattered. I don't think a lot of these decks main deck shatter anymore, so I don't think they're necessarily playing around it. I think it could really blow them out. We'll see what happens, though. I will block. I'm begging for them to flash in the Lord here. That'd be amazing. I don't think they will, but it would be amazing. Let's see how they feel about Thirst for Meaning. Dwari Disruption, huh? Shame. I kind of wanted that one. It's alright, though. I do think it's a great time to just slam a Shatter this guy, though. Happily do that. Do I want blue or white? I already have double white. I think blue is going to be better. I'm going to have triple white later, too, so... Ah, they actually get to sacrifice. That is annoying, but not the end of the world. Opponent's stuck on 2 lands. I'm about to start sharking them. I got Glimpse for infinite card draws. Very many card draws, as it turns out. Another Thieves Guild, okay. And a Wind Robber, sure. Ooh, Mystical Dispute is very nice. So pretty much looking to cycle Shark Typhoon, get a 2/2 in play, block the Wind Robber, make them sack it. And then I have Dispute up for the rest of the game. I get to start glimpsing. And just eating my graveyard lower. If they have like a Heartless Act or something, that would be not great for me, but fine. I actually think there's a chance I'm supposed to trade with this one. Yeah, I should probably trade with this one. Alright, I'm not going to get the chance, but I probably should have actually traded with this one now that I'm looking at it. Glass Casket's not bad, though. That's also pretty darn good. Take that. Can I have it these Guild Enforcer plays? Alright, it's time to get glimpsing here. My graveyard's getting kind of full. Would very much like to start emptying it. Opponent seems to mostly be out of stuff here. If they had a Cling to Dust here, that'd be really bad for me. Alright, it doesn't look like they did. But if they did have one there, it would have been really bad for me. Now I'm actually protected from Cling. I can just continuously cast it. I was maybe supposed to main phase that to try to hit a land. I don't think I really want to, though. So I'm going to try to hit the permanents first. So that Zerasan's not really bad for me if opponent has a Zereth. Cards in the yard. So I get rid of 6. They'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So if I got rid of 6 cards, they have exactly enough to still into the story. So I should wait on this. Alright. Alright, this is pretty annoying. I'm going to main phase this. I would very much like to draw another land here. I've mostly just milled them out. Or milled. They've milled all of my lands, sadly. Alright, we can't hit a land to save our life. Perfect. I will scatter that one. I really hope they respond with End of the Story. They do not. Fair enough. You're going to have to cast it at some point. Alright, well. Maybe their other card is Drown. Feels like it could be. This is going to mill a land. I can feel it. No, a Mystical Dispute. Fair enough. Alright, can we hit a land? Really shooting for it. No. We have at least made it into the story very expensive. That is good for us. Perfect. We actually found a land. You'll love to see it. Shame I am going to lose this one. I still think I'm supposed to keep it there. I don't know. Let's start with a Glass Casket. Opponent cannot sacrifice the Wind Robber, which is pretty good for me. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. I guess it was kind of a blowout. Not the end of the world, but a little bit of one. They're going to play a Brazen Bower. I will dispute it. Or not dispute it, Essence Scatter it. They are unfortunately in a spot where they can get me with an end of the story right now, which I don't like, but it is where we're at. Oh, Agadeem's for 2. That's fine. Just like desperately trying to mill. Fair enough. Alright, I don't actually care if any of this happens. It's all fine. All right, we have done a very poor job of hitting lands, but getting closer. All right, opponent's had enough. I was going to say, that was the turn I was going to play the Dream Trawler, I think, but we got there. So let's see what we got. We're definitely bringing this in. These are great. These are good. ECD, I think, is mostly awful. I think Skyclave Apparition is very bad. I don't really like Shadow the Sky, although I do think Archon is, like, okay. I think I can do, like, a split there and be fine. And I think that's good. I think that's how I want this. I would not be shocked if I was supposed to have 0 shaders, but I like having 2 post board. 2 in an 80 card deck's a pretty reasonable number, in my opinion. I have thought about playing a couple Brazen Borrowers in this deck. I would not hate it. I could actually see like 2 in the sideboard. I would not hate that. Just having some flash threats to pressure with. This hand's bad. I think it's certainly bad. I'm gonna keep it though. But I don't think there's an argument to be made that it's not bad. It's quite bad, but yeah, I mean it's fine. It's fine. It plays. So we're gonna jam a Thieves Guild Enforcer here. Yes. Alright, let's get this in play. Oh, maybe I was supposed to leave in my Shadow the Skies. I don't think they're particularly good against this deck, but it looks, tough here. And, of course, I've drawn 10 Birth of Melituses, which is particularly bad here. But, it's what it is. This 1-2 start into Counter Magic and into the story is just really hard to beat. I guess I was supposed to leave in more sweepers on the draw. That is something to note going forward against Rogues. Shatter's actually not that bad against them. Jeez. I do like that I draw this instead of, you know, putting it in the graveyard immediately. That's wonderful. Probably need to cast this. Alright. Well, I guess I'm still supposed to play this. The Scry, not very good here, sadly. Because the opponent's just going to mill it. But I am supposed to cast it, I think. Alright, classic, you're just way dead scenario. I guess if I draw my other Shatter, I can be in it, but I feel dumb boarding out Shatter. Alright, we didn't draw the Shatter. This is my stunned face. I mean, that's an insanely aggressive start there from the opponent. Yep. I want Shatters over Archons after playing that. But I think we're still favored here. I think the opponent was just had the most aggressive start you can possibly have from Rogues on the play when I kept a somewhat clunky hand. I think it's a pretty optimal way to describe how that game played out. Alright, this hand seems good. I don't think it's great, but Glimpse is worth a lot in your opener. I do have a counter spell for their turn 2 play. Do I just jam Birth here? I think I'm supposed to. I do think I'm supposed to. I think there's a chance that if they have a Thought Thief here, that they play it on my turn anyway. And if they don't play a Thought Thief here, then they're probably just going to pass. So it's... I guess they could have like 2 Thieves Guilds Enforcers, but then Leading Up Dispute wouldn't have been good anyway. So I think pretty clearly supposed to play Birth in that scenario. And just kind of hope opponent doesn't jam their thing main phase, which honestly they shouldn't. Like, I have a bunch of sorcery speed removal. They know I have another plane, so like I could Skyclave Apparition it. Alright, that one doesn't have flash. They just kind of had to play it. So that makes a lot of sense. That said, they have to discard the card to make it unblockable, which isn't all that great. Because then they're tying up 2 mana a turn paying for it, which is also pretty bad in my opinion. I don't know. Weird spot. I will block. I do appreciate the attack though. Just a quick check. Do they block? Yes, they do. They always block with their 0-4, but you know, maybe they don't. No cost to ship it, so you might as well send it. Just gonna send it. Larry and Tyser shout out right there. The Wind Robber, sure. Can I get a glimpse of freedom here? Or do I thirst for meaning, I guess, is the better question. What do we want to discard? Is it even better to discard Shark Typhoon? I kind of want to discard a Plains and an Ameria's Call. Yeah, I think I want to do that. Seems much stronger to me to do it in this fashion. The Thought Thief. Alright, let's Essence Scatter that. That one's too good. So they did pay 2, which I think is interesting. I don't think it's bad for them, but I don't think it's great either. Hey, they milled a Glimpse of Freedom for me. You take that. I'm going to cast the other one, too. Just show them I already had it. Didn't even matter. Oh, that's a Shatter. That's pretty good. I will, in fact, take it. The question is, do I want to use it now? I don't think so. I think I'd rather cast the Glimpse this turn. They can draw another card if they want. Okay, that is totally fine. So the beauty here is that the Glimpse mostly, I mean, it cuts 5 cards out, so those 5 are gone. I'll be down to 6. Ooh, I don't like that. That takes my Shatter. I was kind of counting on the Shatter here a lot. Ugh. Alright, I'm going to let it happen. I have Shark Typhoon if I need it. This is not good for me. Certainly. This was one of the cards. This was a card I really didn't want to see this turn, but my hand's good enough that I can play through it. I don't need to panic. They did take the Typhoon. Interesting. No, they milled another Thirst for Meaning. Oh, they draw cards off of that? That's really annoying. I didn't realize that. I did not realize that. Second Mystical Dispute is very good there, though. I'm not going to lie. Let's Shatter the Sky, huh? They're negating it. I will Mystical Dispute your negate. Not that they didn't know this was coming, but I'm still going to do it. Ooh, only 6 cards, not 8. Shame. Alright. Well, I think I'm in a pretty good spot here. Just gonna Glimpse of Freedom my way to victory. It's the plan. Don't really care about that one. Don't think. Sure, that's fine. Alright, get those 5 out of there. Another Dispute is great. Yeah, at some point we're just going to completely bury the opponent. I mean, they're just going to have nothing. I mean, like, they're already way behind on lands. They're 3 lands back. I'm up on cards in hand. I've got just infinite card draw in my graveyard, which they have not shown they're capable of beating at all yet. Yeah, I don't know. Ooh, that one I think is worth countering. Not in a rush to cast these glimpses. I'll cast them. I don't need to do it this turn. And countering this means that I take less damage, so it's good. I mean, I could have glimpsed instead and prevented the damage. I guess I am taking damage now, but it's fine. The question is, do they drown in the lock here? Which I don't think they do. Oh no, the Ardenvale's gone. Ooh, miscast is great. Do I want to play this now? Do I want to shock it? I think I'm just going to play it tapped. I think I can just do all the things next turn. This is not in a huge rush here. Hard cast a borrower, huh? I'll counter it. How many cards has this glimpse drawn me? Like 5? This card is like single-handedly beating this deck. And this is supposed to be one of the best decks in the entire format. Not that Rogues is bad. I mean, I do think Rogues is certainly good. Just pointing out how unbelievable this card is against them. Alright, well, I think it's time to shatter. Negate, let's miscast that. Now the question is, do I want to put Yorion in my hand? I think I can pass. And opponent has 1 card in hand versus a Mystical Dispute. Don't like their odds here. Ooh, shame about that one. I'm not going to cast Yorion. I can cast it next time, leave it up Negate. I could also find something to do with it. Ooh, that's a card that just doesn't really matter all that much. Get some scry action here. Vantress actually doing something. I guess I'd rather do it like this. I don't know. I don't think it really matters. I think I mostly just can't lose the game from this point forward, but here we are. I actually get to leave up Negate too. I just jam Yorion here. I'm in. Alright, go Yorion. We have a 4/5. 4/5 located. Let's cast Mirio's Call. And now we have a clock. A very good clock, in fact. Yep, they're done. And we have triumphed over the Rogues. Oh, if this hand had 1 more land, I would definitely keep it. I think, given that it doesn't, I have to mulligan. This hand is good, though. It's a hand I'm happy to keep. I'm going to bottom a plains. I already got a birth. There's a chance I should just bottom the birth. Because it's just going to be more of the plains I already have. But I think it's fine. Zagath Triome, huh? Not a lot of that in standard at the current moment. Could just be rogues. Seems kind of likely that it would be rogues. I think given that, I'm not going to jam the birth here. I'd rather get to use this Essence Scatter or Mystical Dispute. Doesn't look like they're jamming, though. Fair enough. Alright, well now I think it's pretty likely it's rogues, and I just have so many counter spells, I just want to actually use them. No, a Typhoon! That's so good! I could play a birth here. Nah, I can wait till next turn. No rush at the moment. I'd rather just be able to leave up all of these, and then next turn I can play a birth and then get a white source and then leave up scatter plus dispute. So I think it's just better mana-wise to do it next turn. Salundi Vision. Alright, that's fine. Opponent's real issue here is they're not hitting lands, which is actually kind of mind-blowing. If they missed their land drop, why didn't you just play that? Alright, They missed their land drop last turn? Or no, they didn't. I'm lying. Yeah, I'm just lying. They did not miss their land drop last turn. Or did they? Was I on the draw? I don't know. They might have missed their land drop. I think they did. And then they played this. And then found another one and then made it the land drop, which is kind of mind-blowing to me, but I think that's what happened. Opponent seems content living their shark life. Getting in with the 1/1. They do seem to be horribly mana screwed, though. I imagine an opponent has like 35 kill spells in their hand. It's kind of my assumption. Whew. Those are good ones. I think I can pass on all of them, though. I kind of want the neutralize. I think I'm going to pass on the Trawler. Trawler's good, but I'll find a win condition later. I'm not in a huge rush. It would just get countered now. I'd rather draw it when I have like 14 lands in play or something crazy. Alright. Don't think I want an ECD here. I'm getting thought thiefed. I do think they're gonna... No, they didn't fight back. I guess they could have like Drown in their hand and just not be able to use it at the moment. That would make a lot of sense. It's a good card, though. That one right there is quite good. Ooh, turns out mine's better. Who'd have thunk it? God, Castle Ardenvale is so good. This is a nightmare for decks that are trying to do this, so we just play draw go. I just make 1/1s in a turn. It's so strong. All right, this also... Glass Casket's really nice for spots like this. It's like a blinkable thing that kills these with Yorion. I think it's just very good here. It's also a pretty tough thing to actually want to use a counterspell on. We could also just Shatter. That's not bad either. They actually want to counter this. Okay. It's fine. Fine by me. think it's time to put Yorion in hand here. That was fine. My plan was to cast Shatter next turn anyway, so putting another 1/1 in play, especially one that I can block this turn, just doesn't matter at all to me. I also get to cast Shatter with, like, multiple counterspells back up, right? Yeah, I have Dispute plus Neutralize to protect my Shatter and force it through. Oh, I wanted to block. Oh, they didn't attack. I can't block. That's why. So why didn't I get the chance to block? I should have blocked. Shark Typhoon's not bad. Alright, let's see if they block. Do we think they're going to block here? They did not. I'm not surprised. Yeah, I'm not surprised. It's just where we're at. Very unsurprising that they didn't block there. Drown in the lock, huh? Alright, I'm going to neutralize that. I would, in fact, like to shatter these skies. Do we have another drown? No? Alright, no more skies for anyone. Oh, that's a shame. That'd be a really good one to extra resolve, but it got Mystical Disputed. Okay, I mean, Into the Story is good. Having 2 there was very good, especially because I never found a glimpse. All that said, my castle's gonna get the best of them here. This is just not a problem this deck can answer at all. It's just gonna keep happening. And honestly, opponent, resolved an Into the Story, but I'm still ahead on resources. I have more land, or I guess we have the exact same. They have 5, they have 10. I also have 10. So we have the same number of lands. They're up 2 cards, but, I got an Omen here. And my castle's better than their castle, as it turns out. Not always, but in a scenario like this, it's a tough clock for the opponent. Alright. The third Into the Story's rough. 3 Into the Stories in their top, 30 cards is annoying. Yeah, I mean, that happens. Are we casting something else? I can make a 6/6 Typhoon here. I think there's some chance I want to do that. We'll see. Feels like opponent has another Soaring Thought Thief, or maybe like a kill spell in their hand, something like that. Nice thing for me too is at some point they will hit a Glimpse of Freedom. They haven't yet, but at some point they will. Because we have 2. And when they do, I get to it's like, and I have a lot of mana too. It's like a draw 6 or something for me. Looks like we're considering maybe flashing something else in. I don't know. What are we doing here, opponent? Do they have a Zerasan? Oh, that'd be really bad for me. I guess there's not that many good things. They get like a Glass Casket or a Bertha Meletus. So maybe not that bad for me. I guess they'd hit Omen. Alright, back to getting them in the race here. Clinging my Birth of Meletus, sure. It's fine. That is totally fine. Trying to gain life to win the race? Okay. I see ya. Alright, the Agadeems has happened. So I think they have a decent amount of removal in hand. Pretty unhopeful that this shark... Oh, they just pass? Okay. We are applying the pressures. Heartless Act the Shark. Before I even draw the card? How rude. Kind of just like playing Yorion here. I think it's going to get countered. It's kind of my read. But I need to run him out of cards. It did get countered. Good read. Do we think they can hard counter my Shark Typhoon? Probably. They have used a decent number of drowns already. 3 Drown in the Lock's gone. It's unclear if they play Negate. A lot of lists don't. They have 28 cards left in their library. I'm just going to pass. Alright. Well, we don't have Glimpse of Freedom. That card doesn't exist for us, unfortunately. Ooh, Glass Casket ain't bad. Another Thought Thief. I'll counter that. Are we countering back? Rewind? Well, that's bad for me. That said, it does kind of look like opponent's out of stuff. And I get to cast a Shatter the Sky here. But I got to force them into casting by just using my lands. So that's pretty good. Cycle another one. Alright. Many cards have been sifted through. Many cards indeed. Man, this cleanness has been very good for the opponent. Still, they're going to deck before I do. And at some point, we will draw a glimpse of freedom. It's bound to happen eventually. Ooh, these are both very bad. Shark Typhoon is not very bad. So if I play it, I am 1 mana short of hard casting the other one. So I think I'm just going to make a token and Shark Typhoon end of each turn here. We're just starting to aggro pressure him, see where it gets us. Cycling stuff, okay. Opponent legitimately might deck. They've also cycled every Triumph, which is kind of wild. All of the Triumphs got cycled. Right? No. It's one more, I guess. Well, it's in play, obviously. They can't all have been cycled. Fair enough. Now we understand. Well, this should be for 4. Making shirks. Shirked up. There's the glimpse of freedom. I knew you were there, buddy. Just had to find you. Ooh, doesn't feel like opponent has good answers to sharks either. Would be a shame if I had another shark here. Be a real shame. Okay. And we got him with the sharks. Kessel Ardenvale plus Shark Typhoon is just... yeah, it's good. I'm a fan. Big fan of that one. Alright, let's bring in all the blue cards because they seem great. And let's cut these ECDs and these Skyclave apps. And call it a day. Alright, post board. Sand seems pretty good. Got the Shatter to catch up. We got early Scries. They even didn't play black, so I don't have to worry about this getting killed. I already have enough lands, so that's going to be great. Let's get some card advantage. Yep. I do think I'm supposed to play the land because of Essence Scatter. I don't love it necessarily, but I think I'm supposed to. Alright. This land is going to be awkward. I'm really hoping I draw just some untapped land next turn, honestly. Okay, that plays. We'll play it now that I can leave up multiple things. The Thieves Guild Enforcer, huh? I'm going to Essence Scatter that. I imagine my Essence Scatter is getting countered here, and I'm also okay with it. No way! They had the counter spell! Stunned. Oh, I could have used that miscast earlier, but here we are. All is well. I think I'm going to put this one in play. Might be time to start sharking the opponent here. Ooh, I don't like that. So I think if I neutralize it, it does get countered. 5. Yeah, I think this is okay. I would very much like to shark the opponent here. No, I wanted to draw that one specifically. That's actually really annoying. Dispute or Miscast would both have been excellent here. I have to imagine they have a kill spell. Seems very likely that they do. But that's like a trade I'm willing to make. It's not that bad. Let's put this in play. Sure, that's getting milled, so it doesn't really matter. But the important thing here is I get another Shirk. And, like, how much instant speed removal did you leave in your blue-black deck against blue-white creatureless control? Like, how many? The fact that they had the first one is kind of mind-blowing. Okay, can we stop milling disputes? I just want to draw one of them. That's all I'm asking for. Opponent actually left in multiple Heartless Acts against me. My blue-white creatureless control deck. I guess I have Skyclave Apparition or something. I don't know. Bad news for them, though, is that I also left in my Shatter the Skies. And then they're going to counter this, and I'm going to neutralize their play. And they get to draw a card, and that's fine, but they now no longer have pressure. I am pretty far ahead on mana. I'm also ahead on cards. I guess I'm only up 2 lands, but 2 lands is kind of a lot. Do I just jam Amelia's Call? I think I probably don't want to. I think I'd rather put Yorion in hand and play this. Division. I think I'm supposed to thirst for meaning in response. Ooh. Let's discard this and a land. And I'm gonna let that resolve. They are looking for specifically Into the Story, which There's an argument I should counter this if they're looking for into the story, but you can also just counter the into the story. Make them spend 4 mana on it. If they have another counterspell, I do get punished for that, and they did find it, so we're going to find out if I get punished. That was a good draw. Okay, Dispute's good. I think I'm supposed to jam Trawler. It turns their Mystical Disputes back on. Ew, rewind. I guess if I negate it, though, this card specifically has to be a counterspell, or they can't do either of these this turn. Alright. If they have another counterspell, it's really bad for me. They've already shown me multiple kill spells, though, so they probably don't have it. Alright. I mean, they're getting into the story, but I got a Dream Trawler in play. That's a pretty strong card. And they need to main phase it, too, otherwise they start running in... Oh, they just... Oh, interesting. Okay. Duress me, sure. Yeah, that's probably the right one to take, for being honest. This one is going to make a big shark. It's pretty annoying. So now the question is, am I supposed... How much... So I just have to take... I would have 4 mana? It has to be right to scry first, I think. It's actually kind of good. Yeah, I actually think that's pretty good. Yeah, so certainly we're casting into the story here. Unfortunately, I have to let this resolve. So I have exactly 3 mana up with my Mystical Dispute. Alright. Not ideal. Not ideal. Marius Call's pretty good. I think I want to cast that one. This can get countered by a few things, but there's a lot of things that don't do it. Okay, that just resolved. And now I get a free attack with Dream Trawler, which is just absolutely amazing. Ooh, and we hit Glimpse? Yes, please. I guess I was supposed to attack with this one too. Another Into the Story is pretty bad. I don't like that. It does tend to be what happens with these cards is they chain them, but yeah, this isn't good. Not good for me at all. I do think I'm supposed to double block though. If they have a kill spell, they get to kill both of them, but otherwise I'm trading a 4/4 for a 7/7, which seems somewhat advantageous for me. Especially if I can find a Glass Casket. I also have like a decent amount of cards in my graveyard, so this Glimpse is going to be pretty good. I'm going to fire it off. I'm going to get really mad when they cling, but I think that's still right. Ooh, our own Shark Typhoon. I like that. Glimpse is kind of nice with Dream Trawler. I can actually trade it for the 7/7 here. Which I don't hate. I think it's fine. I do not believe I'm supposed to do that, though. I actually think there's a chance I'm gonna need to hard cast my own Shark Typhoon at some point. Kind of trying to get that going here. But I do get to glimpse 3 times here, which is great. Kind of catch back up. A second Shark Typhoon? Get out of here. It's too many sharks. Ridiculous. No real method to countering the stuff there. Alright, we don't actually have any counterspells in our deck, it turns out. Or maybe they just all got milled earlier when my opponent was on the mill all of your Mystical Disputes plan they had going on there. Alright, well we hit our own negate, which is good. Do like that. I'm going to hard cast my own Typhoon. Alright. That ain't bad. I have to imagine this favors me, but who knows? I get to keep making 3/3s, which they don't necessarily get to do. I also can reset the board, which they also can't necessarily do. That's fine. Well, I do think like all of my Shark Typhoons are gone, sadly. Am I casting? Think I like these blocks. They have a lot of cards in their graveyard. Yeah, I'm going to lose this if I use it. I don't really want to lose it. I am kind of behind, though. I probably need to. I'm just going to cast an Omen. don't really want either of those. Interesting. I would have thought you'd cling there, but I guess they did not want to do that. I don't really understand flashing and soaring thought thief there either. Ah, just trying to eat my dream trawler, huh? Well, Essence Scatter doesn't really do anything. That one's fine. That makes a lot of sense. I kind of get blown out here. All of that said, I get to cast a sweeper here and be fine. I even get to have negate up after this. That is excellent. They do have a bunch of cards, so they could maybe counter back, but this draws 6. It's a pretty good card. I guess if I have to fight the counter, it draws less. It's actually really awkward. No, they're just letting all that happen, huh? Okay. Alright, well, fine with all this. Heartless Act, my 7/7, sure. I have a lot of cards in hand. 11? What is this? I don't even know what this... Is that exiled, I guess? Another Typhoon! It's so many! Stop, opponent! Do they have the counterspell here again? No. Okay. Whew! Think we might be back. Getting wild up in here. Tell you what. Cycling, huh? And I think I do Shatter again. It's not great, but I think I'm supposed to. Yep. And then I'm gonna pass. So this is really the last turn where I'm going to give a true shields down moment, but it's not even like really shields down. So I have a lot of stuff and 4 mana. I mean, obviously I'm tapped out at 10 of it, but still pretty good. I have 19 cards in my library. Opponent has 23. Ooh, Agadeems. Well, that's a pretty good one. I do think I'm supposed to counter it, though. No, they can just pay for dispute. No! Yeah, that resolves. Annoying. I think I have another Shadow of the Sky. Maybe I don't. Maybe they're all gone. No Shadow of the Skies have been exiled. And I got 3 in my graveyard. So there should be one more Shadow of the Sky somewhere. Where exactly? Well, we don't know. But there should be one somewhere. Mm. Got a lot of stuff here. I'm supposed to start with a thirst for meaning. Sure. I can discard that. I think that's the one that scares me. I don't know. Kind of a lot happening here. I was probably supposed to just hit their sharks, honestly. I don't know. Let's cast this Glimpse of Freedom, see if I can hit a land here. A land would actually be pretty good. Okay. That plays. I think I have lands left. I do. Duress, huh? I'm gonna neutralize. Hit me with the didn't say please. Yeah, losing Maria's Call really stinks today. That's how I was going to win this game. Yeah, I don't know what I do now. Well, as said, I am now officially going wider, which is good. Cling a Glimpse. Okay. The other one's on the stack. Alright. Alright, there's a lot of sharks trading here. That's what it looks like. Very many sharks trading. Sure. Yep, I will Mystical Dispute, obviously. I think that's the only one I need. Yeah, the wall doesn't do anything. I don't really want to draw more cards, although maybe I need to. I'll do one. Opponent is at 9, though. I feel like I can go kind of far around him here. There's actually a chance I'm supposed to hit the Thieves Guild. I think the way I win, though, is getting rid of this one. Okay, neutralize is actually excellent. I'll take that. That I will scatter. Negate? Lucky for me, I already had a second scatter. Still have a neutralize. And I do believe I have lethal on the swing. Yep, got him. So many sharks. That was a wild game. Interesting way to make diamond, I guess. We'll take it. So, people are telling me Rogues beats Blue-White. I think Rogues can beat Blue-White versions, but I think you can build Blue-White to beat the Rogues right back, and I don't know. I think Yorion kind of got crushed because the builds weren't great last week, and everyone's just written it off like it doesn't exist. And now I'm kind of out here crushing with it, and I wonder if people maybe wrote it off a little hasty. That's all I'm saying. It feels like it could be kind of good. So I don't know. I think everyone should try it out. I thought the deck was excellent. I think we're playing in... I think there's some event this weekend. I don't even know if I'm allowed to play in it. Who knows? I probably would play it if I could. I don't know. I don't pay attention to these things well enough. I should do a better job of that. But here we are. So, remember, if you like the content we're making here, please leave likes. Please comment on the videos. Please subscribe to the channel. All of it. Would really appreciate if you would do that. And with that, talk to you next time.
I'm joined by Kyle Balgamase. Welcome, Kyle.
How are you?
Raja Suleiman with Orzhov.
Max McVitie.
Congratulations to Brian DeMars.
Zach Allen.
I wouldn't be here without these guys, though. So.
And the champion of Proto Counter-Attack, Arilax.